It's time I did a home bar update. It's the end of the year, 2019. You will see this in the first week or so of 2020. And yeah, it's time for a home bar update. Here it comes. On my bar, there are a lot of bottles. About 1/3 of them are open. And that's because in the last year or so, I have had a lot of samples. I opened a lot of samples. And maybe I should turn on the light because it's not a very bright day today. There we go. Now we got some light. I'm going to start off with the Canadian side. This is some Potter's Special Old. It's about $50 for a 1.75 liter bottle. It's good when you just want to have a drink and you're not too careful about, subtle nuances, and, it's flavorful. It's good. Another one that I like a lot is Hiram Walker Special Old. Then, of course, 40 Creek Barrel Select, and that one's almost empty. It's real light. These are plastic bottles, by the way. Over here, I got some Wolfhead. This was sent to me from Rob Klumpstra, I think, down in Ontario, by way of Whiskey Sneerson. Over here, I have a Caribou Crossing, which I did the review or did a video about it last night, and that's going to be coming in. That'll come up in the next week. Here we got some Bareface Triple Oak. That was really good too. That's almost done. I got to start trying more whiskeys so that I'll have something to drink. And we got this one here, the 40 Creek Copper Pot. That one's also excellent. Very excellent. Not expensive either. It's like about $26 a bottle, all in, out the door. My old favorite, Alberta Premium. This is just for, of all the bottom shelf Canadian whiskeys, this one is my favorite. Here was a Mount Logan 15-year-old. It's another Canadian whiskey that was exclusive to the Bottle Depot liquor stores. I got here a Wayne Gretzky 99 ice cask. Haven't opened that yet. Hope to do so soon. 20-year-old 90. That's 45% alcohol by volume from Highwood. Here is a Pike Creek European oak cask finish. Good stuff. And here is a prize. This is the Gooderham and Warts 11 Souls. And I will be opening that one shortly too. Very, very good stuff. This one surprised me. It is the Crown Royal Reserve. It was rather tasty. There's almost none left. I might have to get another bottle of that sometime. Now I've got, this one's from the American, which is the next row, but it sits very nicely on that particular tin right there. This is the Elijah Craig 12. That's almost gone. 1 dram left. Should I pour it? No, maybe not right now, but sometime soon. This one here. Crown Royal Noble Collection, limited release, French oak cask finish. I'm looking forward to doing that one. It's Canadian, 40%. And here's the 40 Creek Unity. 40 Creek Unity, that one's getting low too. So yeah, I got to start opening more bottles so I got something to drink. Here is the Lowen McKinnon Tequila Barrel. Yeah, tequila barrel finish, beautiful stuff. I thought it was too harsh at first, but it opened up, or should I say it mellowed down and got better. Here's the Canadian Club 41-year-old Canadian whiskey. Beautiful stuff. Shelter Point double barrel single malt whiskey from up Vancouver Island. That's also lovely stuff. Now we go for the American Basil Hayden, but not just your regular Basil Hayden. This is a Basil Hayden dark rye, and it's I think it's port casks. Not sure. I think it's port casks. My right arm is getting tired of lifting. Here's another one I haven't opened yet, the Jefferson's Ocean. And it's it should have a voyage number on it somewhere. Well, it has a bottle number right there. And if I turn it around, it should have voyage 12. So that's going to be fun to try. Westland American Oak single malt. That one's also really good. It's getting low as well. And this one here is our 1792 small batch. That's also yummy. Yeah. Got some old Granddad bonded. Haven't opened that yet, but it's coming. And here, because since we had the Elijah Craig on the Canadian side, we got some Lot 40 11-year-old 100% rye on the American side. And there's not much of this one left either. This is good stuff. Cask strength, 58.4% alcohol by volume. Beautiful. Yeah, right. What else have we got? How about Jameson's Castmate IPA? That's going to go down good. I'm going to start. That's coming up too. A lot of them are coming up, the ones that are still sealed. Here's the Long Branch from Wild Turkey. That's an interesting one. And talk about interesting, this Woodford is aged in cherrywood smoked barley. Oh, it's not aged in cherrywood. The barley is smoked using cherrywood instead of peat. So it's not like a Scotch. Maker's 46. That one also is getting a little low. It's a very nice whiskey. And I got one here. Weller Antique 107 sent to me by Don Holland. I'm looking forward to trying that one too. I'll get around to that. And here we have a Knob Creek cast strength rye whiskey barreled in 2009. I believe it's an exclusive to British Columbia liquor stores. And I even have another bottle of it down there on the floor. Because sometimes I forget what I got already when I go buying things. So, thankfully it's a good one, so I got lots of it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Irish West Cork Glengarriff series. Good stuff. Very nice. It's from peat charred casks. So what they do is they burn the peat to char the cask. Very nice. Here's the proper 12. I haven't opened that yet, but that's going to be an event. I tell you, it's going to be an event. Over here we got some Writer's Tears Redhead. That's going to be a good one too. I'm looking forward to that. Single malt Irish whiskey. We got a bit of yellow spot left. Just a bit. I'm going to have to open more Irish bottles soon. And we've got the Glen Tulloch 13 Mizunara cask. I'm going to have to try and hunt down a regular Glen Tulloch 13 as well and try that. What else have we got here? Tyrconnell 15. That's going to be interesting as well. And over here, Egan's Irish Whiskey from P&H Egan Limited, 10 years old, 47% alcohol by volume. That was part of the premium spirits release of 2018, if I'm not mistaken. The English non-chill filtered single malt whiskey. That's going to be interesting. I don't know where it's from. It should say so on the back here somewhere. I'm going to find out when I actually try it. Here we got a Rampur from India. That one, I tried that last night. Very tropical, very good. Lots of banana and coconut and what else? Tropical fruits. Let's just say tropical fruits. I was thinking of papayas and mangoes and things like that. This one here, since we're in the world whiskeys, is a Nika Whiskey Rare Old Super since 1962. That's going to be another interesting one to try. Another world whiskeys, Japanese Nika Coffee Grain. That one's getting low. And Nika Coffee Malt, also low, but not quite as low. And over here, we got a Paul John Brilliance. Now I had the Paul John edited, and I had the Paul John Bold, but I couldn't for the life of me find Brilliance until sometime in the last year, where it just popped off the shelf at me. And so I couldn't help but grab it, because when would I get another opportunity? And I'd been hunting that bottle for a couple of years. Now, when I was in Scotland earlier in the year, I chanced upon Chivig. That's going to be fun to try as well. Not chill filtered, blended Scotch, and Scottish Connoisseurs Gaelic Whiskey, 40%. That's going to be fun to try. So I brought that one back from Inverary, but not from the Loch Fyne whiskey store, but from a store that's across the street and down closer to the water on the same street. Down the street and across the street and closer to the water, down from the church looking down to the water. This one's closer to the water. And yeah, I got that there. I'd never seen it anywhere else or any other time, but I'd heard of it, so I had to go get it. And that's thanks to Roy Aquavite, who pronounces it properly. Well, first he calls it teabag, but then he calls it Chivig in his video. These are blends now. I got one row of blends. Here's another one. Compass Box the Spaniard. That's going to be interesting as well. More blends coming up here. Let me move my stool over a little bit so I'm a little closer. All right. I will put this yellow spot back on top of the Mizunara for now, because it's almost empty. Here, Epicurean. That's an interesting little blend. And speaking of blends from Douglas Lang, here's a Big Pete. Big Pete Fish Eel 2019. That's going to be an interesting one. I have here a Galdrins. That one is the from the same people, Douglas Lang, but it's from Campbelltown. So it's a Campbelltown blend. Interesting stuff. I have here another Epicurean, but this one is cask strength. That's from last year's, the 2018 whiskey premium spirits release at the BC liquor stores. That's going to be interesting as well. Packing more punch and oomph than the fish eel or the regular Big Pete. I have here another blend, the Shackleton. You probably know the legend of Shackleton and his Antarctic explorations, and that the whiskey was found buried under a hut, or just under the floorboards of a hut, and it was preserved for, almost 100 years, and they stuck a little needle into the cork, and they pulled out some of the whiskey, and they tried it, and they duplicated it, and this is the duplicate. A couple of years ago, I had a sample of it, but it was not enough to really appreciate it. So now I have a whole bottle that I will start at the top and work my way down and see if it improves at all. This is going back to when I first started getting into whiskey more seriously, the Ochratoxin 12. I believe I had a bottle of it back then, but since I was so new at this, I didn't make a video about it. So I'm going to go back, revisit it, and make a video about it. In the last year, I did buy a few more Ochratoxins. Here is the 18, which I picked up in Calgary at the airport on the way back from the UK earlier this year. And one more Ochratoxin. No, two actually. This is the Virgin Oak. I thought that was interesting, so I think I'll give it a try. This one here is the Ochratoxin Bartender's Malt Batch 2. Very nice. I'm going through it very well. It's just delicious. And the Ochratoxin Bartender's Malt first edition was really good too, the Batch 1. Okay, we got a Long Row Red. This is Long Row Red, limited edition. It is Pinot Noir cask finished, or Pinot Noir cask matured. I got this one in Scotland as well, at the Loch Fyne in Inverary. This is the last one they had, so I grabbed it. All right, let's go Speyside. Speyside. We got some Glenburgie 15, and that's a major component of the Ballantine's blend, so that's going to be interesting to try. There's another one that I like a lot, Glen Grant 12, and that one's getting low. See, I got to open more. Here's a Fire and Cane from Glenfiddich. I'm still not too sure what to make of it. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Glendronach 8, the Heelan. That one proves to be interesting as well, and I will try it when I get around to it. I can only do about 3 a week. That's what I got time for. Glenallachie 12. Nice whiskey. Very nice whiskey. A lot of tropical notes. It was Ralphie's choice of the year a year ago. I'm curious what his new choice is. There's the Macallan edition number 4, and I don't have an edition number 5 yet, but there should be edition number 5s kicking around for quite a while, because I think I can still get the edition 4 in the store. So no rush. I'll get that one when I get that one. I will eventually try it, naturally. Here's something that intrigued me. Now we're into the Highlands. Aberfeldy 16. It's 16 years old, and it's about $100 Canadian. I'm going to try it. We have a Glengoyne 18. Now, about half a bottle down, it has opened up somewhat. I'm going to get back to this one because when I first opened it, it did not do anything for me. And Oban 14, this is one that I will get back to again. It was all right when I first opened it, but it wasn't the complete blast and layers of flavor that I remember from way back. So now that the bottle's open a while, it should be more interesting. So I'm going to get back to that one sometime. Glen Going 12. I got that one in Calgary as well. At the same time, I got the Ochratoxin 18 on the way back from the UK. What else we got here? We got a Glen Glassa Pedro Jimenez Sherry. That's going to be good. It's not available on the shelves anymore. When I saw it, I grabbed it. Provenance Spring Distillation 11-year-old Deanston. This is nice. This is very nice. This is probably the best Deanston I've ever had. And it's an independent bottling. And it was sitting there on the shelf for a long time. Distilled in spring 1994. And I guess it was bottled in 2005. Here we have Glen Glassa Portwood finish. I am looking forward to that one as well. And yes, you can see I have a lot of bottles that are still sealed. Here is Old Pulteney Clipper. Almost none left. 1 dram. That's almost gone. Peated 14-year-old Balvenie. That's going to be nice as well. And here is another bottle that it took me 2 years to track down from the time I heard of it and the time I first saw it and didn't have the money. It's the Old Pulteney 21. That is going to be an event, and it's coming up soon. It's got the Whiskey Bible thing on there. Old Pulteney 21. This is a prize. Good luck finding one now. I found it, I guess, March or April. I had been to the shop 2 years earlier, and they had one bottle. And then I had the money together a week or two later, and I went there, and it was gone. All the Old Pulteney that they had at that shop was bought by some Asian family, and that's what they told me anyway, so it was all gone. And somehow they scared up another bottle 2 years later, and when I saw it, I grabbed it because I had the money that time. Here is, Old Pulteney. That's another Old Pulteney from Wick. This is the BC Liquor Store Premium Spirits release from 2018. There were only 281 bottles. There is not much left of that. I had some last night. Okay, what do we got here? Oban Distillery exclusive bottling. This one I got in Oban at the distillery when I was in Scotland back in March. Okay, I have a Scapa, I think it's called Glansa. Yeah, and the box came without a top. Somehow a shipment of these were kind of mangled. But I'm going to try it anyway because I've had the Skirin, and I for the sake of completeness, I'm going to try the Glansa. Here I have a 10-year-old Jura, which I bought not so long ago. The price was right. Likewise, at another shop a couple of weeks later, the Jura 12. And I hope that these come in close to this one here, which was my favorite Jura of all time, the Elixir. And I think I can still get some of this. I would love to. It's 12 years old, so hopefully it's the same as the 12, but I think they changed it. And way back here, we have the Highland Park Vulcanut, or Vulcanut. That's from my islands. That was my row of islands. Now we got to Isla. Bunnahabhain 18. I picked that one up in, here in Victoria. There's a Kilchoman. Sauterne cask. That Kilchoman is one that I picked up in Scotland at the distillery on Isla. It's going to be, you can tell that the box has been a little bit mangled because it was in my suitcase. Another Isla Ardbeg drum committee release. Yeah, it's going to be good. I also got the regular Ardbeg drum, which I picked up maybe a week or two later from the same store. These ones disappear fast. You have to be right on your toes. Here's a Ardbeg Dark Cove, which I picked up in London. It was the last one at a place called Vintage Whiskey Store, I think it was called. It's right downstairs from the Soho Whiskey Club. If not for Jason Whiskey Wise, I would never have found that, because he's the one who told me where to get it. And he said, if you don't buy it, I will. So I bought it. Because we tasted one upstairs at the Whiskey Club, which was great. I had a chance to taste it and go, yeah, I want that. Here we go. Oh, we did the Ardbeg drum already. Here's another one that I picked up in Oban. The Laphroaig Brodier. It's Portwood finish Laphroaig. That's going to be interesting as well. Now, Lagavulin 12 from 2014. I had the 2015 last year. It was my whiskey of the year. There's the 14. I also have a 17 right there, but the box is so mangled that if I lifted it, it would leave the whiskey down there. I'm going to try that one soon. This one here is another distillery exclusive. It's a Bunnahabhain 13-year-old Moynia Marsala. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. In fact, I tried it at the Bunnahabhain distillery and I had to have it. And we have the 200th anniversary edition of Lagavulin 12. So I'm going to do a few Lagavulin 12s this year. We have the Port Charlotte MC01. This is my whiskey of the year for 2019. And right next to it is one that's unopened still, Port Charlotte MRC01. It's kind of like the sister whiskey to that one, MRC01 from 2010. And the MC01 was from 2009. 2009. I'm getting confused with my years here. And down below, I have an array of infinity bottles. 4 Canadian, and there's an American bourbon one, there's an Irish one, a world one, Highland Speyside, Island, Isla, 2 from Isla because there's going to be a lot of Isla coming up. And there's a Hendrick's gin, and then the box in there that says Caio has a lot of the Canadian or BC Liquor Store spirits release, or premium spirits release from 2019. And there's a couple boxes. I don't want to pull them out now, but there's a couple boxes. There's about 15 whiskeys in there. That's down below. And while we're still going, might as well point out what's under here. Please excuse the mess. There's a Kilchoman. These haven't made it up to the bar yet, but they're coming next. Kilchoman, I think it's cask strength. It's a single cask strength. I have here Kamiki Japanese whiskey, and this one here is it's a Tullamore Dew, a particular Tullamore Dew that I haven't tried yet. There's a Mortlach Wee Witchy. That's the second ice cask Wayne Gretzky, because I didn't know what I had. There's Benchmark. That's a bourbon, 1792, another bourbon, but this is not the, this is a single barrel. The other one I showed you earlier was not a single barrel, it was a small batch. There's an Irish whiskey, Clontarf. 1014 was Battle of Clontarf. This was a cheap one that I just saw, and I thought, okay, let's try it, give it a punt. Bareface. Tequila barrel finish. That's going to be interesting as well. Glenlivet Nadura. I had a Glenlivet Nadura bourbon barrel. This one's a peated whiskey cask finish. The last time I had Nadura was about 4 or 5 years ago. It's been a while. There's a Dalmore Portwood. And get around this. Okay. Dalmore Portwood Reserve. It's non-age statement, but it was not expensive, so I went for it. I haven't had a Dalmore since the 12, maybe 5 years ago. Here's a little novelty curiosity. The swear jar. Tastes so good, we dare you not to swear. So that's, looks like a milk jug. Anyway, I'm going to try that as well eventually. Novelty item. This one also looked good. That was a Glenfiddich 14. I haven't had that one yet. There's Powers John's Lane. I picked that one up in Washington State last October because I could. And you can't get it around here. What have we got here? The Legend or Legent. This is a I guess a wine finish Kentucky bourbon. And last but way far from least is the Shelter Point. This Shelter Point is a Smoke Point whiskey. Bottle 381 out of 1,044. That's going to be interesting to try as well. And aside from the Canadian or the BC Liquor Store Premium Spirits release boxes that are under there, there's a box there, 2 boxes. That's all the whiskey I got, except for 9 samples, which I will be trying in the near future. Well, I hope you have yourself a great new year, and slanchava.
Foodquig.
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 Yeah.
Almost inevitable that when you have as many whiskeys as I do, and you talk about what you got, you're going to miss a few. And here are the ones that I realized that I had missed. There's a Two Brewers, batch number 12, single malt Canadian whiskey, peated. Also in the Canadian munches here. These ones, very important. Weiser's 18-year-old seasoned oak. No, it's 19 years old. Not much of that one left because it was really good. And this one here, one of the oldest I got. The Weiser's 35-year-old. That's the other one that I forgot.